Hey guys, it seems like we are live now. I see there was a little tech issue here, but I believe we are live. Welcome everybody to day number 17 of the 10-pound job down challenge. Today I have a guest with me, and her name is no other than Daniela Gattel, nutrition expert. So I'm here. Deep topic today. We have a lot to talk about. Thank you for joining me again.
No problem.
And thank you all for joining me as well. Could it be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. And I'm excited to share a lot. Today's the 17th day already. And in all these 17 days, we discovered that movement and eating is not all to weight loss at all. And throughout the 4 weeks, we'll be talking about the 6 key pillars to losing weight, feeling great, and being in better quality of health and life. So today we're gonna touch on one of those pillars, and that pillar is weight, or I should say stress management. So let's talk about that for a moment. Stress management. This is a deep topic. There's many books on it, and we may not be able to do justice within just the time frame we have today. But we will try our best to give you insight of stress management as one of the pillars and how we could start to look at it differently and how we can start to address this next pillar and make sure you address it so you can start seeing your weight go down, see your weight go down, see if you find your mood change and everything else. So with that said, Danny, do you want to say any first light, share some first light on this topic, stress management?
Um, I think well, stress is a big thing, especially in the kind of life and time that we live, where kind of like life seems to be happening to us constantly, right? So there's we have great plans to meal prep or great plans to eat healthy at least 80% of the time. We have great plans to go to the gym. But then for some reason, these plans that we had get disrupted because one of the kids have a moment, or because we have a moment, or because we decided that we went for a brisk walk or light jog 2 days before, and then our joints hurt. And so the plans that we have get, they don't really go follow through. And that cause initial disappointment, but also cause internal stress. And stress there's two types of stress, right? There's the good stress and there's the bad stress. So there's the good stress and then there's the bad or chronic stress. And how do you navigate this whole life, and how do you manage the stress that can prevent you from doing everything? Because, for example, you, as I said, you had great plans to go for a jog, but now your knee hurts, and so your joint hurts, and so that you end up saying, oh, what I'm going to do, you kind of say, oh, now because I cannot do that, I'm not able to achieve my goals, or not able to do the movement that I want to do now, oh, what's even the point? When you can eventually do something else to still move forward. But to the point of stress, like stress is something that we experience in two forms. One of the form of the stress that is there is that it can like show up as silent. So when you something happened that you didn't expect, and so that you kind of withdraw from everything and go silent. You just stop talking or eating or whatever. or it can burst out as violent, as to where you get mad at everybody around you because of something that happened to you. So knowing the stress response, so how you respond to stress, either you withdraw, either you spark off, know that there's a way that you could manage stress before it affects many areas of your life, you not even realizing that the stress is chipping away from your social health, from your mental health, from your environmental health, from the life, the beautiful life that you're living. So learning how you respond to stress and the way that you stress affects you is first one thing that help you then say, okay, this I'm stressed. Because most of the time we don't even realize that we are stressed. We think that stress, but even withdrawing from society or withdrawing from daily activities is a form of stress. So how do you respond to that, and how do you manage that before it affects the entire other five dimension of health that allow you eventually to thrive in life?
Yes, stress, again, as I said earlier, stress is a deep, deep topic. And just know this, we all stress throughout life. Being aware of the stress and learning how to manage the stress is the key to longevity and good quality of health. We have heard stories before where people die from stress. They get these vein popped in the head, and you find people stressed out so much that until they mentally tripped. And we hear stories from time to time about the strong power of stress. I was talking especially the negative stress. And before I give you like more of my take on stress and how stress affects your weight loss, I'll give you a quick story first. I have a great uncle, not my uncle, my great uncle, and he lived many years in New York City, and he worked for the transit authority, driving train, and then started to do electrician and fixing all the wires in the train station, and he started his own business, but all running down the things of New York, trying to run down the things that is the American dream, is becoming rich in New York City, buy a house, two houses, until he came to a point that he was heavily stressed. And it was both work, family, everything. And he knew that if he didn't adjust something in his life, he may die from stress, because there is history within the family where people couldn't handle stress and they brain popped and all this stuff. So he made a wise decision to leave everything and head to an island, a remote island in the Caribbean, where he living out his rest of his life. Now he's 90 years old, going on 91, and he is in good health. He don't wear no glasses. He don't walk with no cane or walker, nothing like that. And it's because he wanted a better quality of life, and he believed being secluded, not around all the noise, pollution, and food, and just around hearing nature and the beach. And he believed that that was his cure for his stress. Did it work? Well, it seemed like it worked for him, because he's 91 and still kicking. So stress, being aware of your stress can really help you to live a better quality of life. But when we ignore it, it can be detrimental. Here are some key signs that you know you're under stress, because stress affects your body, your mood, and it also affect your behavior and how you behave. And this is how you know you're stressed. Many times, not always, headaches could be a key sign of stress. Thinking a lot, and those muscles are moving back and forth and tighten up and tension, and you start to get headaches. could be a key sign of your stress. Sleep problems, either insomnia, you just can't sleep at night, you're up until 4 in the morning, then you sleep at 6, and then you have to go to work at 8. You are stressed, seriously stressed. These are some telltale signs that something is up. You know, where you find you always getting a cold, you're always getting sick. These could be a sign of stress as well, because stress affects the immune system drastically and affect the way you lose weight. So you find if you always get the sneezy and the snuffles, note that down, that you might be a little too stressful. Fatigue. During 2 o'clock in the day, you feel to take a nappy nap. You could be under stress. Nothing to laugh about, but this is true things. It happened to me, so that's why I'm smiling. I wanted the nappy nap because I was stressful, all feeling fatigue, where your blood pressure is spiking up high, stress. Doctors say cut out sugars, cut out salt, your levels are really high, do a little movement. Blood pressure could be a key sign of stress. Chest pains, especially around here. Not heart attack, but you're feeling this like pain in your chest. That could be a sign of stress as well. Heart beating very fluctuating fast at no just time of the day. Keys of stress. And I'm giving you signs because this might be just happening to you right now. Muscle tension, especially the back of your neck, here, your shoulders, your upper back, your lower back. These can be all sometimes your chest area, and it's feeling tight. Tension can be also in the legs as well. If not tension, sometimes pain. Your muscles just aching and painful on your joints, and all these can be key of stressful life. And that's just dealing with your body. Would you like to talk more about anything you want to talk about when it comes to the body and stress and how you behave, or you want to just move on from that?
Well, when it comes to stress and the body, the reaction that stress does on our body, and I'm not going down the rabbit hole of the stressful consequences that they lead, but stress is one of the major causes of metabolic diseases, right? So, but the stress in our body prevent us, we turn upside down for a second. Stress in our body prevent us from, or delay, I would say, the whatever goal we have, right? So we have a goal of losing weight, while being stressed is not helpful. So it delay your results, whatever goals you have to. Oh, oopsie. Okay, now it seems that we keep going like and swinging up and down. Okay. All right. That's the beauty of being live. I'm going live. Right? You see me straight? Perfect. I think so. So it delays a lot. It delays your results. It delays your results because of all the chemicals imbalance that go inside the body whenever you're stressed. And whatever, like your mind start playing tricks with you by saying, hey, I am fighting a stress response, and so that I'm shutting off everything else because now I am fighting this stressful event that come at me, and so that all the rest take place after I fight this event. But is that true though? Right? Is that that's the way that we approach stress that have the brain say, oh, this is something that this person is in danger, like my person is in danger, so we need to fight this in order to have them survive, right? The sort of fight or flight situation. However, there's something that I want to share with you that hopefully reframe stresses in an easier way so you can understand what stress is all about. So when you, let's say, let me give you this example, right? So you are, you stress out because Johnny is failing at school,
I'm gonna
right?
see myself.
So you stress out because Johnny is failing at school. So why? Why so? Right? Well, because either you are Johnny, right? That is the one that is failing at school, so you care about that because you are the Johnnies. Either you are Johnny's parents, and so you care about your son, daughter, whatever, failing at school, or you can be the Johnny's educators, and so you kind of care that Johnny is failing at school. So whenever you see stress as on the flip side of something that it's important to you because something that you value, right? You value Johnny's education because you are either Johnny educator or either Johnny parent. And so the flip side of stress, there's something that it's important, there's something that is valuable. So when this kind of stress comes at you, get curious and don't try. We fight so hard to get rid of stress, right? To get the pills that help us manage stress and do all the kind of stuff that need to get on all the medications to reduce stress.
Of course,
But
most of us like that quick fix. We want to get rid of it because it don't feel well.
however, what if on the other side of stress, there's something that is important to you? Would you take medication to get rid of something that is important to you? No, you would not. You will get curious and say, okay, I'm stressed now. I welcome in stress and I say, okay, this is an opportunity for me to learn what is important because I know that I get stressed because it's something that I care about. I care about my own worth, for example. If I get talked down at work, if my boss is a jerk, if whatever, I care about my self-worth, and so I get stressed because someone make me feel bad. So going on the flip side of getting curious by welcoming stress and say, hey, let me get down here deep and see what do I really care? What is important for me? When you figure what is important to you, that it could be like a springboard for you to take action and say, okay, I care about this. That's the reason that I am getting stressed.
Could I could I add to that?
Sure.
You see, since COVID, right? Since
Yeah.
2020, many of us stayed home, and they have actually said that the stress level of Americans sky high because it's the first time in a long time we spent so much time with each other and get to realize we didn't like it so much. For some, it brought families together. However, the stress of not being able to go out, socialize, interact, they said, or as well, there's data on this that the average American put on 25 to 30 pounds. So you see what stress does. Stress trigger out many different behaviors that affects our weight. And that's why we're talking about stress management today.
Yeah.
Because if we could just manage our stress, we will lose weight. But most of the time, we don't think that stress is a component to weight loss. That's why we are addressing the different pillars to weight loss every Wednesdays. Because since you're aware of it, now we have the information to go out there to make big, massive change for you. Continue. Sorry for interrupting.
No. That's you said it because like at the end, or the other side of stress, there's always something that we care about. So whenever the first step, if it is a 3-step to start some sort of stress management, is say, okay, welcome it in, and then acknowledge the fact that is you are going to discover something about yourself, either that you don't want to spend that much time with your spouse or your partner, and it's good that you both have a job and both go out, and it's good that, so be curious on what it's important to you. So you welcome in and you say, okay, this is what is happening, and then how do you go about relieving the stress, like, or finding a
So
solution.
I think we could come to that still. We
Yeah.
will jump because we have a lot to talk about today. Um, I would like to know more about. You see, I want people to be aware of it because most people is the sense of awareness of the stress and what it does in our body. It's key, and I think since we could create that form of awareness, now you could start to see within your life where you could be stressed, heavily stressed, because most of us just don't know until we end up in the hospital or on the hospital, literally, that we know that we are stressed. So these, when we talk about stress, we talk about how it affects the body. Now let me share with you certain things that you may know that you're stressed when it comes to your mood. You want to talk about that for a
Yeah, go
moment?
ahead, go ahead.
When it comes to your mood, for example, these are key things that you know that you're stressed. You feel depressed, sad, continuously sad, not just sad just for a moment because somebody hit your toe and they didn't say sorry. I'm just talking about internally, you're not feeling that happy. Very depressed. It's sunny outside. It's not great, but you're just not feeling. That's a key that you are heavily stressed. That's how your mood is, because stress affects your mood negatively. And then we'll talk about after the mood exactly the actions or the behaviors that stress does to us, and how it affects our weight. So we talk about feelings, how we feel. Anxiety is the next thing, that we always anxious and feel uncomfortable. We sometimes feel irritated. We sometimes lash out with rage and anger. That's how it affects our mood because we are in pain. We don't know how to express that pain, but by lashing out. That's how we know we are heavily stressed. We have the lack of motivation or focus. We also, and these are just key things of our mood. There's more than that, but these are some areas where you see in your mood. If your mood is swinging this way, you know that you're stressed. But there's hope and there's a way out to this. Definitely. I would like to talk about the more than just the how it affects your body, but your mood, but also your behaviors. What I observe is many people, when they are stressed, they tend to eat, overeat, and because this is weight loss, I wouldn't talk about the other aspects. Some people undereat. Those skinny mops, you know what I'm talking about. They're the skinny mops that they just undereat. But for most of us, we overeat, and that is one of the behaviors that happens when you are stressed because your body is searching. We talked about that last week, Wednesday. I think the first Wednesday in this whole, we talk about how eating management, and we talk about that eating part of it. We overeat. That's one key thing. You also find you have a less, or your sex drive actually plummets. You don't feel to, it's not, you're never in the mood. It's just gone. Or literally, it's not there. That could be a sign of stress, and it happens with behaviors. Um, Also, lack of wanting to do any form of physical activity. That could be going on the beach, going to the park, walking your dog, walking just to go to the grocery store. Just the lack of want to move is a key behavioral pattern, knowing that you're heavily stressed. So if you're seeing some of these signs happening to you, then we could target on what you're talking about. What are the some of these things, or if we are so stressful that we're seeing signs now, what action could we take to manage our stress? Because I think you're going and diving into that.
Yeah. Well, like one of the thing that you could do, and from the comfort of your couch, is practice breathing, breathing in and out, and especially when you do like two breath in, consecutive breath in, and one long breath out, it kind of release that stress, like that little anxiety that you have. So it's done like this: in from your nose to eyes, like this, and then again 3 times. That can be one of the things that you could do. Just you, whenever you feel that some sort of more, your heartbeat is speeding, or you feel that there's some sort of anxiety coming to you. And next thing, if you have access to, is just spend some time outside. Now is summertime and the weather is pleasant. If you live in the south, you're blessed with many hours of sunshine. If you live in the north, you still have probably access to sunlight. So whenever you get sunlight, especially in the first hours of the morning, from a sunrise up to like 10, 11 in the morning, they're good time and good hours to spend at least 10 minutes outside, or 10 minutes in soaking in into some vitamin D that comes from direct sunlight. That is helpful. And of course, those are like mindful practices that you will need to do over time, right? These are way that you can alleviate, that you can get rid of the stress in a kind of like holistic way. So don't expect to just look at the sun for 10 minutes and then all the stress go away. So it is helpful as is aiding to stress relief techniques as long as you practice it. And next, very powerful tool to kind of release stress is get pen and paper and do what I call a 5 minutes brain dump. Write down everything that is bothering you, and everything, whatever it is, you know what it is, and nothing. There's no judgment here on what is bothering you, because it's you, and stress is so unique to you. So write it down. Whenever it is you see it on paper, it's out of your mind, and so you kind of offload your mind for that heavy burden that is a stress, and that is one. If you have 5 minutes, sorry, and you want to start meditating, and I'm not saying that you need to become like a monk or a meditation pretzel, but really 5 minutes on doing a body mind meditation, and like a body mind scan. So starting from the body, starting from the mind, and say, okay, you just sit down if you want, lay down in a bed, and you start say, okay, that's my head. You start feeling your head. Okay, how do I feel? Do I feel heavy somewhere? Acknowledge every part of your body. Then you go your shoulder, your neck, your shoulder, your arms, your belly, your hips, your legs, your feet. Acknowledge every part of your body where it is and what you feel. If you feel something inside or in every part of your body, and this could be a very nice way to bring you back in the present moment, where there's really no stress in the present moment. Stress is a response and a worry to something that either happened in the past, so it's past, or didn't even happen because you're projecting some past experience onto the future. So some 5 minutes body mind scan, that will be a nice way to release the tensions, along with, if you can, if you are more like a external kind of motivating person that you need to do something, that will need to write down. If you're more like an internal motivated person, then a 5 minutes body scan would be a very good one. And then on top of that, what can you do? You can start really plugging into behaviors that slowly make your life less stressful. And what are those behaviors? What are those behaviors that, and those skills that go down to action that repeated over time create habits and so behaviors? That will be to eat nutritious food, right? Because nutritious food do not contain much chemicals. It could be like highly processed food that is mainly made out of sugar. Like I think I is 53% of the 700,000
Before
items.
before you get there, because I will ask you that question about nutrition and how it affects stress. But let's add to that list. Thank you for joining me today. I see you, dear. Okay, this let me just add to the list of some things that you could do to help manage your stress and how it will affect with weight loss. What I observe with many of my clients in the past is this: stress, when we are so stressful and there's many things on our mind and we eat ourselves happy until we feel extremely happy inside. What I observe is this: our mind is now full of head trash and thoughts and doubts and all that plays within the stress. So we now start to disbelieve that we can achieve anything. We start to doubt ourselves in many ways. And these are key things that I observe. We need to either stifle that thought process or empty it out. How we could do that to help release some stress, I'm just sharing some things that work for some of my clients, is find yourself reading positive books, motivational books. It'll sort of change the thought process of your mind, and you find everything sort of everything tend to be possible. It can help with your stress level. Find a hobby, and that hobby could be anything from shooting darts to riding a bicycle every single day. Just your time, me time, where you find times to do your thing. I know a person personally like to draw and paint and color. That could be your hobby, and that could help with your stress time. For me, I like to play music, piano, and sing by myself. That kind of helped me reduce my stress. So that's my hobby. You could also, what I observe tend to work a lot for stress is humor. So more you could laugh, is more your stress level goes from here to there. So watch stuff that makes you smile more. Read stuff that makes you smile more. Hang around people who makes you smile more. All these stuff can help you manage your stress level. And in return, because you know stress and the hormone they tend to produce, it help you to gain the weight and all this issue. But by you managing it, you find it wouldn't produce all those stress hormones to help you to get fat. It will reduce it drastically. So we have humor, hobby, it could be anything. What else could we do? Move some more, creating some form of activity, and that activity could be anything. Walk your dog, walk, take a stroll.
That's one thing that
you know,
that I often say is that you cannot really think your way out of a feeling. So stress is a feeling, right? You can think your way out. So if you're there and you stress and you say, oh my gosh, now I have to get rid of the stress. I have to get rid of this stress. Well, you find that the stress get only bigger.
yeah.
So thinking you can think your way out of a feeling, but the only way to get rid of a stressful response is by taking action. And it was some study run by Stanford, for one of the lab at Stanford University, that found that short bout of intense exercise help, and they're very helpful to fight that fight or flight response to stress. So whenever you have something that is coming to you and you feel it, do some jumping jacks if you have the opportunity to. Get on your knee and do some knee squat, if knee push-ups if you want. Do some squat, some burpees if you like burpees. I personally don't like them, but they're very, very good. And so do some form of in high intensity short bout of exercise, so that you find that whatever is going on here, that feelings eventually quickly dissipate, and it will leave you much more, like on hormones that are released inside your body, that are the happy hormones, and so then the stress will disappear. However, do not take stress lightly, because as Joa said early on, it really is one of the major causes of metabolic syndrome diseases. That are the three major causes of death in adult in the United States. So whenever you feel there is something, find someone that you want to talk to, right? Having someone that is like just lend you a ear, and or you want to cry with someone, find a way to communicate with someone close to you, or some resources around you that you can phone, that you can visit, and the work you can learn how to voice out what is going on
So
inside.
with that said, how do you know, when do you know, what is the turning point that someone should seek help?
Well, like of course, when there's this, when the chronic stress, so the bad stress is there, and so there's days after days where you cannot get out of the bed, where there's days after days where the feeling of sadness is there and it's not going away, no matter how many jumping jacks you do. You understand it? How many brain dump you write, how many journals you write out. So when that chronic stress, or when that length of you staying sad, you staying, you feeling this anxiety, you going into a very depressing state where really, although you want to get out of the bed in the morning, but you don't have the strength to even get off the bed. So then it's is a good time. It's a good time to seek for help and professional help, because hey, or you can do there's something that you might not be able to do alone, and don't be afraid or shameful about asking for help, because there's professionals out there that are very much highly trained on helping you see and get off of this, of the chronic stress before it lead you to a path of no way back.
So quick plug, if you're looking to at least manage, or you say, I need some kind of help to manage my stress level. It's too much. I want to know how to, what to do. I want to eat better. I want to lose weight. Feel free. Reach out to us. Reach out to me, and we will help you at least outline what is wrong, what could be, what could we could fix, what we could tweak to help you manage your stress much better and help you along your weight loss journey. Today, I want to talk a lot. There's a lot more I want to talk about. But before we wrap up, because again, we could talk for 2, 3 hours on stress.
Yeah, when I
Um,
yeah, when I talk, like I can't stop.
correct.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because it's a deep thing, and
Yeah.
we are here to just share the light in the space of darkness where you can't see your way out. Show you that it is possible to actually get out of the I should say, I don't want to say the word rock, but that place you are, you feel stuck, to get you out. I'm here to stretch my hands out to help you along the way. I'm here to actually hold your hands and take you to the end of that journey to get you where you want to become. So if you need that help, feel free, reach out to us. Let me help you, just like I help thousands of people since 2001. And with Danny on my side and the rest of the team, you're in good hands. You were in super good hands. And again, feel free to reach out to us with any questions or concern dealing with stress management, your nutrition, your weight loss journey, your health journey. Feel free to reach out to us. Tomorrow will be a lot of fun. I want to introduce you to some neurological way of using your brain to lose weight. So this is the first time we have been touching on this since the start of the 10-pound drop down. It will blow your mind, so you can't miss that. Start at 11 Eastern Standard Time. Yes, New York City time. We go live. If you cannot catch it at that time, it will have a replay. I'll post the link within the description, so or within the group, so you can catch the replay, where to go to get the replay, because I may take it down from the group. So that's that for now. As always, do you have any last words to say before we?
No, I just want to say thank you for being in this space. I know that time is is a limited resource, and you choose to spend it with us. So I'm grateful for that, and I hope that we give you a perspective on some topic that are very important topic for, like a good life. We give you like a different perspective on how you can tackle this important topics. And again, don't be afraid to reach out if you feel that you want to talk more about stress, or you will feel that you don't even know what is your stress load. You understand? And you say, oh my gosh, like how much stress can I hold before breaking? Well, reach out, because there's many tools that are available to us, and we can make them available to you. And so that we can, turn your physical goals into life goals, as I say. And thank you again very much for being here with us.
Until next time, I want to say stay fit and healthy.
All right.
Peace.